updated on what's happening here. The Congress's candidate from Jayanagar constituency, Soumya Reddy, was leading in the first round of counting by a slim margin of 163 votes. In the second round, that came down to 153 votes. And then there were multiple rounds of counting. In one of the rounds of counting, the allegation is that the BJP candidate, that is C.K. Ramurthy, was leading from 17 votes. Now, in the midst of all this, there are allegations by the Congress party that around 3:05 this afternoon, Tejasvi Surya, who's the MP of Bengaluru South, under whose constituency this assembly constituency also falls, and R. Ashoka from Padmanabnagar constituency, both of them came inside the counting booth. An allegation made by the Congress have also provided a few visuals to support their claim. And the second accusation is that both of them were allowed inside with their mobile phones. Both of these, if true, are violation of moral code of conduct. Now, we've seen the entire Congress leadership come down here, less than, 50 meters from where we currently are. The KPCC president, D.K. Shivkumar, his brother, D.K. Suresh, and several Congress leaders, including Soumya Reddy's father, Ramling Reddy, Congress leader, and the legislator from the neighboring constituency of B Team Layout, are all sitting and strategizing. In fact, as I speak, behind where we are, Sidramaya has also probably arrived. We've been hearing, chorus of Sidramaya cheer going from Congress party workers. But if I can ask Shivani to quickly show you what's happening. This is the counting booth. Heavy police protection, and in fact, the police personnel here ready with the riot gear. And if I could just take you all around, Congress workers on one side, right behind what we're showing you is where D.K. Shivkumar is waiting. And Shivani, if you could just walk a little ahead to give a sense of what's happening to our viewers. From the far end of this road, we are hearing Congress party workers cheering and whistling. And beyond the barricade, which we cannot show you right now, are the BJP workers. Now, BJP's candidate is a former corporator and is a first-time contestant. Soumya Reddy is a first-time MLA and was seeking a re-election. I'm going to quickly go across to Tara, a social activist, somebody who's worked on Soumya Reddy's campaign, and you've worked with her through her term as well. Tara, what are you picking up? What's happening? Because all of us are thoroughly confused.
Well, we are not entirely clear either, because as you can tell, one is not allowed to go inside, and information doesn't arrive in real time. But from what we can tell, there were rejected ballots that were then reopened for counting due to the insistence of the BJP MP. It's not clear whether due process was followed, in the sense that there are rules regarding videographing. If rejected ballots are reopened for counting, they're supposed to be videographed. Clearly that hasn't been done, and the reason they were rejected was because of lack of seal/sign. So if they are rejected, then why are they counted? It's not like a seal and sign can miraculously appear. So there's lots of these open questions that leave the process very kind of hanging. Also around 2 o'clock, we had already received intimation that the last round had been counted, and she was ahead and it was going to be declared, and we were en route to collect the certificate. And why would then there be an impasse and no movement and delay up until, say, 5-6 o'clock, and then this process suddenly starts to kick in, right?
Just for the benefit of our viewers and also all of us here, what do the rules say? How many rounds of counting is allowed, and under what circumstances are these recounting allowed?
I don't know the exact rules. I'm not the right person to comment on that. Misbah, are you familiar with that?
I am speaking in the capacity of a friend to Soumya. She had a clear victory. It went on and on and on, and it looked like the agenda of all of us was to just win ultimately. But what I would like to question the ECI today is based on the official document which is issued to the ROs. Any any ballot which has been rejected, and you are bringing back that into the mainstream, you're supposed to videograph that event. right? On what basis you have brought forward, and the whole process of bringing back the rejected ballot to your mainstream has to be videographed. I want to question and check if that has been taken care of when you brought the rejected ballots.
There's also other issues, right? What was an MP of the opposition party doing in there, opposition to the current winners? How was that entry allowed? There's also been
Have these
videos.
questions been posed to the returning officer? What was the response you got from them?
We are not allowed to meet them. We've only posted them on social media to ECI, marked them on Twitter. But why was the MP allowed in? Why was the sitting MLA of Padmanabhanagar, Mr. Ashoka, allowed in? And we've also seen videos of them holding phones inside. So clearly, you're not allowed to take your phone inside. So how did that happen, right? So it raises a lot of questions about due process and what has happened here.
Right. Before I let you go, if I could just quickly ask you, where is Samya Reddy right now? Is she inside? Any word on what's happening?
So what we've heard is that all the candidates and only the candidates are inside while this matter is being settled. Exactly what's going on inside it seems like there is yet another count or reconciliation of the non-EVM ballots. We will only know when they come out exactly what happened inside.
Thank you so much, Tara. It's going to be a long night for you guys, and looks like for all of us here.
It's been very, very long since early in the morning. Also, I don't know why we needed to wait 3 days for the counting to happen at all. It's all electronic, and once you gather the machines, you should be able to count it the next day. It's not optimal, definitely not optimal, and doesn't, we don't have confidence as a result of it, right? What are you doing for 3 days? Why do you need to give that time?
Several pertinent questions being raised by Tara there. And, what's interesting, Prajwal, is that this really doesn't have any bearing on the final outcome of these elections because the Congress is way past the halfway mark. For our viewers who have not caught up with what's happened through the day, the Congress is currently at 136. Is that including or excluding the Jayanagar counting, Prajwal?
At the moment, the 136 includes the Jayanagar, but at the press conference that the Congress held earlier in the day, they mentioned that they also have the support of two independent candidates. So the Congress is operating under the assumption that they won 138. See, that they have the support of 138 MLAs in the Karnataka Assembly. Now, I got wind of the fact that Tejasvi Surya, the MP, under whose constituency Jayanagar falls in, was in the counting center in Jayanagar in the evening today. So that's when I, as a reporter, raced to the spot. And since I've been here, there has been BJP leaders, there have been Congress leaders who have tried to enter the polling, the voting counting booth, but they've been stopped by the police. And since then, the deployment of the police has increased, and there has been a horde of supporters of the BJP and a horde of supporters of the Congress on either side who have been causing a ruckus since 7 p.m. in the night. So what happened inside is something that's unclear. But
quickly, just to interrupt you, there seems to be some development. We will take you closer to the gate and try and get you live visuals. We are still unclear on what's happening. Every few minutes we see some action, but like Prashvil said, not much comes out of it. There have been several attempts made by Congress leaders, including DK Suresh, to try and go inside, and their demand is if you allowed. Absolutely. I'm going to hand it back to Prajwal as he continues to give you a live commentary of what happened.
Well, the top brass of the Bengaluru police, the who's who of the Bengaluru police are here. They're here. I think they're giving a statement. I can see the DCP Southeast, CK Baba, in conversation. And I don't think we can hear them from here, but they appear to be speaking to some members of the press who are quite close to the barricades. We're trying to bring you live pictures from outside the counting center in Jayanagar.
We're still unclear on what's happening, but there is an official who is here. I think he is a lawyer from the legal cell of the Congress. If you could introduce yourself and tell us what really is happening, what have you gathered so far?
The process is going on.
I'm sorry, if I could.
My name is Jayanagar.
Okay.
We are from KPCC legal cell. Since the matter has been pending before the Electoral Commission, So we need not discuss those things.
Understand.
So this would be
I
much
understand.
pleasure.
I understand.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your time. Of course, legal procedures dictate that they cannot discuss much. And honestly, we have a large crowd gathering here outside the counting booth. Prajwal, describe to us what you saw earlier, some very, very dramatic scenes. Just tell our viewers what you saw.
So one thing that I wanted to point out is that several Congress leaders have tried to go into the counting center in Jayanagar. In fact, I saw Ramlinga Reddy and DK Shivkumar arrive here, but they were denied permission by the police to enter the counting center. And then later DK Suresh arrived and he violently shook the gate of the counting center and he remonstrated to the officials. But the officials still again sent him back saying that they will not be allowed inside the voting center. The Congress has been asking questions whether due process has been followed in the recounting of votes in the Jayanagar Assembly constituency election results. Now, a worker in the Congress who was inside has informed us that it was at around 2:30 in the afternoon that the election commission said that the first round of complete counting of votes was finished. And he says that since then there have been two more recounts that have happened, and the Congress believes that is alleging that the election commission has not followed due process in introducing some postal ballot votes which were earlier not considered. So we are still awaiting clarity on what exactly happened. No election commission official has spoken on the record about this, but we will be bringing you updates from outside the Jayanagar counting center through the night as this story develops.
Absolutely. And before we wrap up this live, again, just to give a little bit of background to our viewers, the Congress candidate Soumya Reddy was a first-time legislator from Jayanagar, and she was seeking a re-election. Her father Ramling Reddy is a seven-time legislator from BTM layout and is known to be very influential in Bengaluru urban. Now, her key challenger is BJP candidate C.K. Ramurthy. He was a corporator and is a first time candidate from this particular constituency. This does not have any bearing on who gets to form the government or the final outcome of the assembly elections. The final numbers stand at around 136, including Soumya Reddy's lead that the Congress was counting in their kitty. The BJP stands at 65 at this point of time, and the JDS is at 19. So clearly, the Congress is well over the halfway mark. But what is happening here, what is playing out here, is allegation and counter allegation. And the drama, the momentum is picking up. It looks like it's going to be a long night for all of us, but we will keep bringing you the updates. My colleagues Prajwal and Shivani have been here for several hours. Prajwal, just quickly before we wrap up, tell us what we can expect if over the next couple of minutes, if you have any idea.
Well, Tushar Girinath, the district election officer, is also inside, and we have not gotten an update as to whether they'll be announcing the election results now. The Congress's lawyer is outside speaking to members of the press. He, of course, mentioned to us in the live that he cannot comment on what the election result is, but that they have taken all the information about what's happening inside. Of course, the Congress has asked whether due process was followed in the reopening of some of the votes which were not considered in the first time of voting. So this is again the election contest in the Jayanagar Assembly constituency in South Bangalore, and this is where Soumya Reddy of the Congress was facing off with BJP's C.K. Ramurthy. Now, Pooja and I will be bringing you updates from outside the counting center in Jayanagar through the night. We are still waiting for an official word from the election commission as to which way this election is being declared. But a large crowd has gathered here. There is a large number of Congress supporters who are waving Congress flags in the approach road towards our left, and there's a large number of BJP supporters in the approach road to the counting center towards our right. And of course, a lot of supporters of both parties have entered the road that leads to the counting center, and we have still not gotten word from the election commission about whether the counting has finished and whether they'll be announcing the election results now. Now, as you can see, there are a lot of police officers deployed. The senior most officers of the Bengaluru police are all outside the counting center in Jayanagar. Almost all of the elections have been declared. It is only Jayanagar constituency that is yet to be declared, and we see a large number of supporters of both the Congress and the BJP who have gathered here. yes, there are some curious onlookers too as to finding out about what's happening outside the counting center, and a large number of police officials deployed too. So this was a time when the Congress was holding a joint press conference in the evening. Members of the press were covering that, but of course, even the Congress leaders who are in that press conference have recognized that this is the story of the day in the Karnataka elections, the story of the Jayanagar constituency where Soumya Reddy is facing off against CK Ramurthy of the BJP. Now, in all of this, a lot of people are asking the question as to why an MP, Tejaswi Surya, the popular Bangalore South MP, was inside the counting center in the evening. There are visuals that have emerged. Then the BJP leader has questions to answer about his involvement in this. Pooja, do you want to tell our viewers about whether you have heard any reactions from the Congress leaders, whether you have come across any, you've spoken to any of the Congress workers on the outside?
Well, the workers are obviously very enthused because this came just after a landslide victory, and it's almost like there cannot be a Karnataka election result without drama. Because I remember, in 2018, around the same time, on the day of results, we were running from one resort to the other while the legislators were being herded in buses and packed away to even as leaders were trying to figure out who will form the government, how
Well,
they will cobble up the numbers.
if it's not resort drama, it's we are outside a counting center.
Absolutely. So sleepless nights do not end for us here. But yeah, like I said, DK Shivkumar, his brother DK Suresh, all of them are patiently waiting with Ramlinga Reddy. Soumya Reddy is inside the counting center. From